Morning everyone. Yesterday we discussed about modern repertories, what are modern repertories, and we started with Fatak repertory. So many people they think that repertory only grow or improves when you put in more additions. But only putting more additions of drugs as well as rubrics means it was not improving. It is not only additions, but it recognizes, sometimes even restructures the repertory so that long existing but hidden rubrics can be found. So every time when a new repertory that came or published, in that repertory there is definitely there is addition of some medicines, newly proven medicines, some extra new rubrics related to topic of that repertory. But other than that, in that repertory, it was restructured. The structure of the repertory it was it was restructured than the before repertories so that we can easily able to find out the hidden rubrics than the before repertories. And for this reason, millennium editions of the complete, there has been a lot of restructuring, sometimes subtle, enhanced by references and cross references. So in every repertory which was published, every time we found that there was some restructuring in its arrangement, in its references, cross references. Many new cross references and references have been made in the knowledge that people will use modern day English to find out the old information. Then in the Materia Medica, we find diversity in the remedies, in authors, in wordings used to describe the picture of the remedy by provers and by authors. When you go through Materia Medica of different authors, then we found that there is somewhat diversity. The wordings used by the each author, it was different, and they describe the picture of the remedy with the help of their own understanding and according to the prover's symptoms. In the repertory, it is a different story. We need diversity of integrated remedy pictures, but we do not want a huge diversity of words to find out the information. As we go through different materia medica of different authors, then we find some diversity between two authors in the same drug. But in the repertory, though it was of different, it was written by different authors, but then also the symptoms they are written in the same way, only the words we find somewhat different in different repertories, but the meaning of the symptom, that rubric, it was same related to that medicine. Whereas the materia medica excels at this, the repertory should be meager without losing the meaning of the original text. With regard to new proving material, it is true there is still ongoing discussion about the validity of some of the information added here. However, the repertory is a book which will give you hints to search for the similimum. So the repertory is only the book which give hint to search or which will help you to search the similimum from a huge materia medica. but we should always check the materia medica to see whether or not the suggested remedy or rubrics really fit into the materia medica picture of that remedy. Therefore, all possible new remedy information, the information which is available in writing, so that you can check the original uh, proving yourself, have included in all modern repertories. Using the right rubric for patient checking the materia medica is an essential part of the process in finding out the similimum. So while selecting the similimum, we have to use the right rubric. We have to convert the symptom of the patient into the right rubric, and then we check that rubric, that symptom into the materia medica, and this is the essential and most important step to find out the similimum while treating the patient. So as we all know that repertory is nothing but index of symptoms, and it can be utilized in better manner only when the user is aware of how to convert the conditions into symptoms and the symptoms into rubric. So we should know, every homeopath, he must know how to convert the symptoms into rubric. First, how to convert the patient's story, or how to convert the patient's interpretation into symptom form and these symptoms into rubric form. So this is very important and we must know these things. And modern repertories, many of the practitioners and students find it very difficult to interpret these symptoms and conditions to refer in the repertory and to arrive at the similimum. So this is the most important task, that converting the symptom into rubric form while before repertorization, then only we can able to reach towards the similimum. And this is an effort to help the practitioner, especially the newcomers in the repertory. Many of the rubrics are ambiguous and implicit the need and continuous study of using these rubrics in bedside. So modern repertories are compiled to reduce the difficulties faced by practitioner in their day-to-day practice. So what are modern repertories? Modern repertories are veritable breath of fresh air. Effort has seriously been made to truly make the repertory user friendly. In fact, modern repertories are designed to be a modern, practical, and easy to use reference guide to the homeopathic materia medica, with new additions and updates, new chapters, new rubrics, and new clinical rubrics. So this was we discussed already in last lecture, that what is modern repertories, that it is nothing but the repertories which are practical, which are easy to use as a reference guide to the homeopathic materia medica. And in these repertories there are new additions, new updates, and addition of new chapters, new rubrics, as well as new clinical rubrics, so that we can easily find out the perfect similimum. And out of these modern repertories, we started with the repertory, one out of these repertory, that is Phatak's repertory. The name of this repertory is Concise Repertory, a concise repertory of homeopathic medicines by S.R. Phatak. And repertory and materia medica are twin pillars And in this repertory, we found different types of repertory as we discussed previously in classification of repertories. And in those different types of repertory, Phatak repertory is one of an alphabetical clinical repertory, and it is a concise work of which was made or which was constructed by Dr. Phatak. Dr. Phatak has included rubrics duly verified by him, and remedies for a particular rubric have been reduced to minimum by a careful selection. So sources of this repertory, the main source is Synoptic Key, then Pocket Manual of Homeopathic Materia Medica with Indian Medicine and Repertory, then Kent's Repertory, then Therapeutic Pocket Book, Clark's Dictionary, and his own clinical observation and experience. As how the repertory was published, that we discussed already in the last lecture, that author used to discuss and uses of various repertories with doctors who for came to him for guidance in study of homeopathy. That time he conceived the idea of preparing and arranging the repertory in one alphabetical order. The repertory had also to be concise and handy one, even though this idea took root, the author, due to his ill state, was reluctant to undertake the task. But one of his friends, Mr. S.L. Kapadi, who knew about the idea, came to his help with a skeletal copy of this work. He asked the author to fill up the gaps, check and recheck it. The skeletal work was prepared by Mr. Kapadi from author's rough draft, notes, etc. of Marathi repertory. The author had to agree with Mr. Kapadi. He arranged the work properly, rewrote it, and made many additions. Dr. Mrs. Humai Merchant, who used to come to the author for guidance, saw his handwritten work and offered to type it. I only read these slides because we discussed about the story of publication of this book in yesterday's lecture. Only for revise purpose, I will only read or repeat these slides again. The typed copy was lying with the author for nearly 10 years. During this interval, he made several other additions to it. Later, when it was decided to publish, the author's son approached Mr. D.P. Datta, who promised all help and undertook the work. Dr. Mrs. Humai once again typed the whole work on request and also made valuable suggestions. So here we are. How many editions are there? So there are 3 editions. The first time this repertory was completed and published in 1963. This was the first edition. It was general, alphabetical, clinical type of repertory, and the aim for publication of this repertory was, it is an alphabetized reworking of Bogar Boni Hussain to reduce the burden of the prescribers by bringing the required information at one place. Then there are 3 editions. The first edition, as we discussed, it was published in 1963. Then the second edition which was published in 1977, and the third edition which was published in 2000, which was revised and enlarged edition of Phatak repertory. Philosophical background. This repertory, it is having no philosophy in its background. It is purely alphabetical repertory. Then symptom evaluation or the arrangement, how we should evaluate, how we should give importance to symptoms according to Dr. Phatak. So according to Dr. Phatak, we should give importance to first modalities, in that first causative modality. Then we have to give importance to time modality. Then we have to give importance to postural modality. Then general symptoms, we should consider the general symptoms which are represented by case, and grand generalization should also be done. And lastly, we should consider the characteristic particulars. So according to Dr. Phatak, while evaluating the symptoms, when we refer the Phatak repertory, then we should give first importance to modalities, in that causative modality, time modality and postural modality. Then grand generalization, we should give importance to complete symptom, and lastly the characteristic particular symptoms. This was again the same slide, or the same how the symptoms should be evaluated. It was given that modalities, in that causative modalities, aggravations, ameliorations, then general modalities, time modalities we should consider. Then we have to give importance to concomitant symptoms, then directions, then desire and aversion of the patient. This repertory helps the physician in selection of similimum, where causation, time, modalities, aggravating and ameliorating factors, then pathological generals, they are available. So as this is clinical repertory, most of the time we use this repertory for reference, as well as we use this repertory in most advanced pathological condition, where we have to find out the palliative medicine, the medicine which give temporary relief to the patient. At that time we use this repertory, but this with the help of this repertory, when we have to find out the similimum, the cases in which causation, time, modality, aggravating and ameliorating factors, pathological generals are available, in that case we can easily able to find out the similimum. Then Dr. Phatak has given due importance to general modalities, time of expression and clinical rubrics in the repertory, which are very useful in prescribing. Then plan and construction of this repertory. How this repertory was constructed, this also we discussed. We started with this topic in yesterday's lecture, how it was constructed. So in this repertory there are two parts, remedy with abbreviation and remedy proper. So in repertory proper there is uh, there are no divisions called chapters, which start the rubrics which start from abdomen and ends on zygoma, because as it was, as there was no divisions of the body, as there was no subsections, only the rubrics, they are given alphabetically from A to Z. So the first rubric in this repertory is abdomen, and the last rubric in this repertory is zygoma. Each part of the body is made into rubric with a lot of subrubric related to the part. Each part of the body is made into rubric with a lot of sub-rubric related to that part. Arrangement of rubric. The rubric starts with bold capital, and in sub-rubric, the first letter of sub-rubric will be bold and the rest are in normal. We discussed the examples of arrangement of rubrics in this repertory. So the abdomen, this is the rubric in this repertory, the first rubric. So it was written in capital bold letters, and abdomen, affections in abdomen, alternating. So these are the sub-rubrics, that is affections in alternating head with. So they are written in capital letters, but only the first letter in this word, that is affections in, is written in bold, and all other letters, they are only in capital, they are written only in capital, not in bold typography. Then aversion, cravings as separate rubric which we found in this repertory, and it was not separated in different sections, but according to ABCD alphabetically we found the rubrics aversion and craving. Then vomiting, thirst, fever, pulse, etc. We also found these rubrics in alphabetical order. Pain rubric has a separate main rubric. A sub-rubric has its sides, sensation, modalities, conditions. So below the rubric there are sub-rubrics, and they have given in the fixed pattern that its sides, then sensation, then modalities, and then conditions are given. Causations are also mentioned under rubric when and where needed. So causations, they are also given under the rubric whenever necessary. General modalities, that is amelioration and aggravation, they are given. Direction of symptoms as separate main rubric. Diagnostic terms are included like measles, pneumonia, malaria, bronchitis, as this is clinical repertory. So in this repertory we found many clinical rubrics. So we found the clinical or diagnostic rubrics in this repertory like measles, pneumonia, malaria, bronchitis, in this way. The main rubric children given separately. Then drug abuse of in general, etc. as main rubric which we found on page number 107, and the rubric gait, it was found on page number 172 in this report. So there are three gradations or the remedies are given in this repertory. Dr. Phatak, he give three gradations to the remedies. The first grade, that is capital, it was the first grade medicines or 3-mark medicines, they are written in capital letters in this repertory. Then the second grade or 2-mark medicines, they are written in italic. Then the third grade or 1-mark medicines, they are written in Roman letters in this repertory. Then advantages, many rubrics that are not found in other repertory. As this is modern repertory, so many new rubrics it was added than the previous repertory, as well as many new drugs it was also we found in this repertory than the previous repertories. So the advantage of this repertory is many rubrics that are not found in other repertory, as well as all the advantages of clinical repertory, that is to find out the palliative remedy for the for a purpose of or for temporary relief in case of advanced pathological condition, then to find out the rubrics related to the diagnosis, as well as the cases lacking in mental general as well as physical general, and which are rich in common particulars. In that case, this type of repertories or this repertory is useful. Then clinic cases with clinical diagnosis, then short cases with a few symptoms. At that time, this repertory is useful, and also it is used as for a quick reference book, and it contains some rubrics which are we cannot found in other repertories, other general repertories. So it become a good companion in study of such rubrics. Then in finding out a similimum in a specific clinical condition, this repertory is useful. So these are the advantages of this repertory, and as it is the there are some limitation of this repertory also. As it is clinical repertory, we cannot use this repertory for proper repertorization. So this is one of its limitation, as it was a limitation of all clinical repertories. Then there are in this repertory many important rubrics which we found. In that, abdomen, eating too much aggravate, this is the important rubric, and in front of that rubric pulsatilla was given. Then laparotomy after nux vomica is given, protrudes near and there puja was given, pendulous mothers of iodum sepia it was given, then angel when well, devil when sick. This is also important rubric of belladonna, so it was also given in this repertory. Then asthma, dust inhalation of pothos, this was given in this repertory. Aversion to sweet, causticum and graphitis are given. Avex too late, calcarea and nux vomica are given in front of this rubric. Then blood pressure high, blood pressure low, bookworm, in front of that bookworm rubric, cocculus was given. Cough, cramps, talus, anacardium, McFors was given. Childish body grows. Then chin hair on in woman. Oleum, jacoris, it was given in front of this rubric. Then consolation, refuses for one's own misfortune. Nitric acid was given below this rubric. Then constipation, infants of bottle fed, artificial fed, alumina, nux vomica, opium, it was given. Diabetes children in Crataegus, it was given. Eyes around, dark circles under, ferrum, sepia, thuja, it was given. Eyelashes, dandruff, sanicula, it was given. Fear husband will never return, something will happen to him, platina was given. Food, vegetables aggravate, decade, carb animalis is given. Then forceps delivery after bursa and hypericum was given. Gout, lipoma, then hair falling children in natural mood, split, zincum. So in this way, different rubrics which we cannot found in other repertories, which we get in this repertory. Then based on Boger's synoptic key. As this repertory, the main source of this repertory is Boger's synoptic key, additions from his own case taking, his clinical observation, then pathological rubrics which we found in this repertory, that is Addison's disease, fatty degeneration. Then some unique rubrics we found in this repertory like Indian food atoms, drugs abuse of. So these are the some salient features of this repertory. So the important salient features of this repertory is it is based on Boger's synoptic key, the additions from his own case taking, his clinical observations, many pathological rubrics we found in this repertory like Addison's disease, fatty degeneration, then some unique rubrics we found in this repertory like Indian food atom, drugs abuse of. Then minimal number of remedies by careful selection. Drugs included are his own clinical experience through prescription, strongly justified by Kent, Boger or Clark. Single section arrangement helps symptoms pertaining to two or more symptoms, for example, awkwardness. His own repertorial notes from all repertories including TPB. So in this repertory, as the number of medicines are minimal but they are selected very carefully, and drugs included in this repertory are from his own clinical experience through prescription in his OPD, and as well as these drugs are strongly justified by Kent, Boger and Clark. Then single section arrangement, there is no subsections in this repertory. All the symptoms they are arranged alphabetically from A to Z. So due to single section arrangement, it helps symptoms pertaining to two or more systems. For example, awkwardness, his own repertorial notes from all repertories including TPB. So while constructing this repertory, he used his own repertorial notes also from all repertories, and in that Bonimussen's therapeutic pocket book is also there. So in this way, these are some important features of this repertory which we should know, and these are the most important thing because there is some fixed pattern for evaluation of the evaluation by using this repertory. Then there is some fixed pattern of arrangement of symptoms without any subsection. It was arranged alphabetically from A to Z because it is alphabetical clinical repertory. So in this way, this is all about the Phatak repertory. Thank you.